Hello everybody. We are at Jagriti Yatra, which is the world's largest train journey for entrepreneurs. And here we have so many people we can talk to. There are 480 people on this train, and I have never seen these many entrepreneurs ever at one place in my life. And so it's really a fantastic place to be with people and talk to them and hear their stories. So here I am with somebody. This person's name is Mr. Harshad. He's from Pune, and he's been working on 5 startups which he's doing in Pune currently. He also has other experiences that we're going to talk to him about right now. So let's just get into it. Harshit, can you tell the viewers about your work in Pune, the 5 startups and how that started, what the timeline has been?
Yeah, so we started in 2010, our first startup. From there, we started with a team of just 2 people. The first startup was into drawing space curriculum design and helping people with drawing grade examinations of Maharashtra and helping them secure good grades. Once that started building, parents started approaching us and they started asking for more things like dance, studies, personal development, handwriting. And that is how after 4 years later we conceived another startup in studies. In second year we started something with dance, but due to some reasons we had to shut it down. That was the failure, one startup which failed. Along with that, then we added personal development 2013, then handwriting, and then we brought few changes in child. So parents agreed to us to send for tuitions also. So without any marketing, we had a customer base ready. So we just took the opportunity and started something related to studies. That was our second startup in 2014. After that, there was no looking back. Then I thought of, I have a degree in pharmacy, but then I thought that I want to take more experience in education field as 2 startups were already running. So I applied for Teach for India, got selected. Teach for India is a fellowship for young people who are passionate, who do not have any degree in education but are just graduates or into last year, can apply for Teach for India fellowship. After that, I completed my Teach for India fellowship, and in this year I launched my 3 startups. One is about football, second is about young scientist program where the child can make his own ideas, and the fifth is about an open school or homeschooling. As we know, in foreign countries the lot of emphasis is given on individual development on child and not like in India just IQ. So the
Yes.
fifth startup is mainly, it will take care of low cost quality education at all levels throughout rural, urban, semi-urban areas.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I see. So that's really interesting. My question is, you've been managing 5 startups at one time. It's very difficult for people to even manage one at a given time. So can you tell us how your work has been with the 5 startups and how you manage to work with a lot of people working on 5 startups, about your team and about how you've been able to manage this work?
Yeah. So for me, first I focused on building the customers. So I went totally backwards to the plan. I did not go for funding. I did not go for raising funds. I did not go for creating website. I kept the expenses minimum, and I built my team. The first team member was my school friend, Sankit, with whom I have been since my childhood. We have done a lot of things together crazily, and just it was one day that he was talking to me, and we were already taking personal tuitions, going at parents' home and taking tuitions, and then we stuck upon these ideas that everyone can't afford the personal tuitions. Like the cost is too high, relatively like 20 to 50% higher than the normal fees in a group tuition. So that conceived the idea that low cost model should be built, and we already had admissions. So managing 5 startups is simple now because we have built a lot of systems. We have built a work culture wherein you can take endless number of leaves, and we have already hired 2 people extra. So we know that we are going to need 5 people extra next year. We start their internship 3 months or 6 months before, and based on their learning we give them roles. And once we have the team in place in the background, I shift a role and start something new.
Okay.
So that is how the hierarchy works. Like there's no hierarchy because as you grow your skills, you grow in the startup.
Right,
And you have endless opportunities. Like if you want to come to drawing, you can come to drawing. If you want to take over of football startup, you can come and look after the football startup. So there's a lot of differentiation happening. Like you're not just doing the same work every day. And that is the reason the partners whom I have got, or I'll call them partners only because if they're not there, it won't work out.
Right.
So now drawing startup is totally, I have left out. It is handled by 4 people, and now I just look after the major decision making that is happening, the major how to go about it. Now we are currently into process of making our books. So we will be making books of drawing, and we will be also writing our stories on education. So we are in process. The reason for writing the book is we met Vijay Bhatkar, the scientist who designed the supercomputer. So he said me that if you want to meet me, you come with a book, you write this all, whatever you are doing, the low cost education, and then I'll meet you. So that was the inspiration. Just last month I met him. It was just 2-minute talk. I had went to ask him his time to meet, and that is all. So the inspiration to run startup is basically, now we have substance in place because drawing runs only on Sunday. The studies run from Monday to Saturday. Football runs every day from Monday to Friday. School runs in the morning and the classes run in the evening. So we manage the same team in different time slots because you need teachers who can teach subject wise content. So Hindi Marathi is same everywhere. So in the school, the same teachers of Hindi Marathi, in the evening they come to a startup. As everything is nearby, it works as a co-space.
So I have one very important question that I'm wondering about is you don't have a website, you don't have a formal structure where you have tried to market your startups. So how have you been able to gather customers or acquire customers for your startup? What are the unique ways you've implemented for the purpose?
Yeah, so I believe in the philosophy, like I read some international author had said, I guess Richard Basson, that take care of the customers and your any startup will not fail. So what we do is we constantly take the feedback from parents, like what is good happening, what are the changes in your kid, what is changing in him, what are the changes you can see in him, and through this word of mouth the parent refers other students that go to them, they are doing really nice. Today we have a culture where in Bosri we are the number one in drawing. Because nice. Like we are growing at a pace very slow, but we can handle it. Like if 1,000 customers come, I cannot handle them right now because I don't have a team and I don't want to compromise on quality. And that is the reason that we are going slow. And that is the reason that through mouth publicity we get the crowd. And right now at this stage we have our database of 500 strong students. So every day there is a new inquiry approaching us without any mouth publicity. So just focus on customer satisfaction and give them that 10% extra. So visit their homes, we call them for meetings, we just interact whenever they come to drop the child or to take the child. So everyone in the startup is involved into building that relations with the parents and making them treat as a family. So customer experience and word of mouth being leveraged heavily for his startup work. So now I'll end with the most important question. How do you plan to scale up your work in the coming future and what are your plans? Yeah, so scaling up, as I said, like I don't want to compromise on quality because you go to McDonald's outlet and you have a burger of McDonald's, it's same everywhere. Regardless of the context of the country, it's the same because they are so peculiar about the ingredients they take into. Like they have the same vendors, they have the same supply chains that carry out that system, and that is what I'm building for. Once that is ready, I'll scale up the model to all India level, or maybe if in next 10 to 15 years. And I want to go slow about it because I don't want to compromise on quality. Right. So that was Mr. Harshad, who's an inspiring entrepreneur. He's working unconventionally and he's trying to get into the education sector, do something great with a different kind of a philosophy. He's trying to make his startups different, and that was really inspiring talking to you. We are going to talk to more entrepreneurs and I'll take you through more people on the Yatra because there are so many people who are, for the lack of a better word, inspiring. Thank you, and I'll see you.